What is the kingdom of heaven? There's this concept in the Bible known as the kingdom of heaven, which, if you've seen my videos before, if you follow my channel, you're probably familiar with that concept. But if you had to put it into words, how would you describe that from your personal experience? Well, this is my experience and my attempt to do that. The kingdom of heaven is that 1% of you that remains untouched when 99% of you seems to just be lost and going through it. It's that unmoving peace inside of you. When there's pain, discomfort, confusion, when there's a lot of noise, a lot of commotion out here, a lot of things going on, there's always that piece of you that sits in the background, quietly, peacefully, and just observes it all happening. And it seems that 1% of you, that unmoving piece of you, that number can actually grow, and it actually fluctuates. And sometimes that peaceful part of you is more pronounced than others. Sometimes it's just right in your face. Sometimes it's right in front of you. It's enjoyable. Things are going great, and it's right there. And then other times it's very subtly just sitting in the background. But it's always there in some fashion. When you're broke, when you're sad, when you're confused, it's still in there telling you that you're okay, that you're safe, that you're going to be good, you're fine. It's that part of you that's whispering to you those things. You can think of it like the waves going across the surface of the ocean, and it's noisy. There's a lot of commotion there. There's a lot of movement. There seems to be a lot of things happening on the surface. But then you dip your head below the surface, and it's almost deafening. This quiet, this peace and quiet below the surface. And there's this depth to it that you just wouldn't have guessed from spending all your time on the surface level. It's like when you go below the surface and you get in touch with that thing that I'm referring to as the 1%, that peaceful place. There's such a depth to it that you don't even know how far that goes. Right? You get in contact with that, you go below the surface, and you can't even see the floor, you can't even see how far it goes down. So how do we find this place? How do we find the kingdom of heaven? And I'm using words here, right? These are just words. It's difficult to explain something that isn't of words, but it's a personal experience. So how do we find this thing, right? Well, we spend more time with that 1%. That 99% is made up of stimulus, emotions, sights, sounds, tastes, touch, smell, distraction, a lot of noise, a lot of things to be going on out here. That's what the 99% is made up of. So you do the opposite of that. You detach from that. You spend more time with that 1%. You drown out the 99% of the five senses. Can you sit by yourself with your eyes closed for 30 minutes? That's really the question. What does that feel like? And when you do that for a long enough period of time, when you do that over an extended period of time, you start to realize, like, oh yeah, there is something behind it all. There's this quiet, there's this silence behind all of the commotion. And that 1%, that quiet place, you can build a relationship with that place. You can grow that number. But then you get in contact with this place, with this quiet place, that peaceful observatory behind it all, that place of just observing and quiet. And then you start to realize, like, oh shit, how do I actually explain this? How do I put this into words? And then you get there and you realize you can't really put it into words because it's an experience. It's not of words. It's not of the five senses. So when you go and try and explain it to people, it's like, it just falls short. And the thing that I've found in my experience is that getting in contact with that place makes you a little quieter too. It makes you a little quieter because you realize you can't fully package that into words. And it's your personal experience. It's just you and your personal experience.